the Postgraduate Diploma in Environmental and Occupational Health. In the previous session, we were discussing about the contaminants and the toxicological effects of the chemicals into our lakes, into the air, and the different components of our environment. To continue with this, we again have Professor Tanu Jindal from MIT University, Noida. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, we have seen in the previous session how these contaminants are affecting the environment as a whole, and they are also creating health hazards for human beings as well as the other living organisms on this planet. To cite an example, we have this Behlol Nalla, which is in Jammu, and this was basically a tributary of the Tavi river over there, and this was providing drinking water for the entire old Jammu city, or the old city of Jammu. But right now this has been converted into a Nalla, and that is because of the indiscriminate dumping of the domestic and the sewage waste. The same way, Udaipur, which is also known as the East or the Venice of the East, this again we have the Uday Sagar lake there, which is in dire need of help, as it is also completely under threat from the anthropogenic contamination. Here again we have a number of the industries in the vicinity who are dumping the industrial waste, and we have a lot of heavy metals like mercury, cadmium, zinc, especially the copper, all this which are dumped into the lake. As a result, this is also providing the groundwater and the drinking water supplies to the neighboring villages, almost 20 villages in the vicinity. This again, the water has become highly acidic, and the problems are being faced by the villagers. So to carry on this discussion and this topic, we have Professor Tanu with us, and one question which I would like to put forth is, you have done a lot of studies on this unlined sewers and this sewage waste, especially in the region of Delhi. So can you highlight this study and how important that is for the toxicological research?
Certainly, Sushmita, you have highlighted a very big problem. In the sewage waste treatment, we are still in the very primitive condition of stage. When I used to pass from Nala, a drain, which was situated from Mayur Vihar and passing to Noida, a very foul smell is there in the atmosphere. And I used to think, when the atmosphere is so much polluted, what is happening to the groundwater? Because in Delhi, all the drains are unlined. So we proposed a project to Ministry of Earth Sciences. What is the impact of these drains on the groundwater? Because they are polluting river. They are going and merging into the Yamuna river. But is there any impact on the groundwater as well? For that purpose, we selected 9 drains of Delhi. There are 16 drains in Delhi in total, and all of them are overloaded. But we selected 9 out of them: Najafgarh, Barapula, Ajmeri Gate, Maharani Bagh, Khyber Pass. And we have found, as you can see in the graph, that even heavy metals are leaching down. In Ajmeri Gate area, lot of lead concentration has been found, and when we explored the reason, that is, there are many lead dismantling battery factories are there. We found chromium, we found nickel, and also mercury in the groundwater. And Sushmita, when these chemicals leach down to the groundwater, it is not easy to treat and purify the groundwater. You can still think of purifying the treatment of the river, but how about the groundwater profile? It's a very serious condition, and to your surprise, you will see even microbes are leaching down in the groundwater sample. Central Groundwater Authority, they are taking samples from piezometer, but when you take samples from piezometer, the samples get diluted, and sometimes they are below detection limits. But we are getting the drain samples, and we are doing studies through lysimeter. It's a novel technique wherein we know how much is going down in the groundwater and what is going down. So we have seen, besides over limits of physico-chemical parameters, BOD, COD, pH, turbidity, heavy metals, pesticides, PCBs, microbes are going down in the groundwater, and it is a very alarming situation. We have given recommendations to Ministry of Earth Sciences. First, to make these unlined drains concrete. There should be big sewer pipes. Secondly, which can take care of the problem, is decentralization of the STP plants. For example, if STP plant is been put over the main sewer in a colony, and that treated water can be used for watering the gardens, and manure also can be used. In that way, the load over the drains will be reduced. Secondly, our rivers will not be polluted. There will be no pollution of the groundwater, and we are waiting for the government to make policies in this regard.
So that was regarding the lakes. Can you also explain this grasshopper effect, which is specially noticed in the polar atmospheres? So this is also a matter of concern.
Certainly, I would like to show you in my next slide. You can see we participated in 34th and 35th Antarctic expeditions, and wherein we analyzed the lake water samples of Bruckner's Peninsula. You can see over the screen there are sampling sites. There are several lakes in Antarctica, and also in Grosvenor Peninsula near our Antarctic stations, Bharti and Maitri. We found, to our surprise, DDT residues are being found in our polar region. We have not even left Antarctic, the pristine environment, to get contaminated. And they go by the grasshopper, the orographic effect. They travel from other contaminants, or they also get their place there by anthropogenic activities. There are many research stations are there, and nowadays, in fact, people have started going for tourist activities also. So you can see in the table that DDT residues are 50.33 picogram per ml. So that is the highest, and the highest limit we have in lake number 4, we have found 70 picogram per ml. For the POPs, we have even found, mainly DDT has been found, but endosulfan residues, and you know it has been banned now in Kerala, 40.67%, 30.13%. So I think it's a very alarming situation. We must get aware of the residues of these pesticides and have a check on their usage. In the next slide, you will see that how coliform bacteria is also been found in the lake samples. We found 27 different types of organisms, coliform, in northern Grosvenor Peninsula, 60 types of organisms in northern Grosvenor Peninsula. So this is quite an alarming situation that we are even polluting our polar region.
You have very well explained how the lakes are contaminated, and man has not even spared the polar regions, especially the Antarctic sediments, where again you find that there are coliform bacteria. So even finding microorganisms in such cold temperatures is a great study, but then you find that there is a good level of microorganisms, and also all these pesticide residues. That is really shocking. So there are some more studies which you have concentrated on environment and toxicology, for which you received also some patents. So can you highlight this also to our students, so that they are able to understand the field and how toxicology is directly linked?
Yes, certainly. Before that, I would also explain about the percentage of carbon near the generators which we are using in Antarctic stations. So our research activities and other activities are contaminating not only air, water, but also many Antarctic organisms. The residues have been found in krill, and now...
So this is as a result of the research activities that are being carried out at Antarctica?
Not exactly just because of that. As I said, the biomagnification is there.
Okay, right.
And also grasshopper, the orographic effect, okay. These contaminants are getting transmitted through winds also.
Okay.
For example, Australia is very near to South Pole, so mercury is sometimes getting transported. And we also participated in 10th Indian Scientific Expedition. And now to a brighter side, in fact, sometimes we have taken samples from Southern Ocean, and we are trying to develop antimicrobial compounds and also nutraceuticals from the samples taken from there. So there is a brighter side also. But we have to look into environmental toxicology to save this planet, to save this earth from the menace of these chemicals. Now coming to the patents you have asked me, as I mentioned in my brain sample analysis project, we have devised a particular equipment called lysimeter. Now how it is different, lysimeter has been used in past, but they have been made in field, very big lysimeters. This is a simple lab lysimeter which we have designed. It can be used in the field, it can be used in the lab, it is reusable, and it can give you estimate of a leaching potential of a particular chemical, of a particular xenobiotic. We simulate the field conditions in the lysimeter and know the leachability pattern, impact, concentration, so that when you are registering a new chemical in the environment, for example, a new pesticide is been registered. So these leaching studies must be carried out. What is the impact of this particular new chemical being introduced? How much it can go down in the groundwater? What is the impact in soil? How much it gets accumulated in the soil? Because we cannot pollute our environment like that. We need to do such regulatory studies before introducing. And to add another component, we have also analyzed drain effluents. What is the impact of drain samples, chemicals, pesticides on leachability? In between this new slide, I would like to tell you, we were talking about environmental toxicology, Sushmita. I tell you about a very interesting project which we have done on impact of mobile phone radiations and its impact on environment. So in this project, we have exposed Drosophila through 3G radiation, and we have found that when we use phone for a longer hours, there are certain adverse effects. And for second patent, I would like to highlight a natural pesticide which has been prepared by us. And the beauty of this pesticide which we have prepared is it has been prepared from weed plants. And as you know, weed plants are not of any use. In fact, they are a problem for environment. So we have specifically chosen certain weed plants for the use, and we have used the extract of these plants to see their impact on pest control, and we have seen they have a very good effect as a broad spectrum pesticide, and many of the companies are now interested in taking our technology. So this is at the technology transfer stage, and this natural pesticide can be easily prepared by a farmer also, because the crude extract like neem currently is available as a pesticide, but we have utilized some more weed plants because neem is not available everywhere. We have used certain weeds which are available everywhere in India, and to kill pests, very easy technology, very simple technology, and it will give a solution to the pesticide residues which we are facing in the environment and which are causing a lot of cancer cases. There is a complete cancer train which runs from Bhatinda, carrying the cancer patients from Punjab. So if we say that pesticide has to be reduced, we also need to have a solution for it, and we have been able to. It is a past 20 years of research work for which we have now been able to produce this particular natural pesticide. Now the third patent, we will talk about this EMF radiation exposure setup, which gives radiation on a particular frequency, and you can analyze the impact of any 3G, 4G radiation on the subject. Another patent we have devised is low cost water testing kit. The currently testing kits which are available in the market, they can analyze only few parameters, and this kit can analyze 15 parameters at a time. This is very cost effective. Only in ₹100 you can analyze one sample, and even students can use it very easily. This kit is based on certain titometric techniques and certain mathematical formulae. So there is a dual benefit. Students can know about the water quality near their area, their tap water, their water bodies. Secondly, they will also get to know what is the usage of the chemistry and mathematics in daily life. So everybody can know about, even the housewives can use this kit easily to know about the basic parameters of water quality, and it is very simple in use. I would also talk about certain air pollution monitoring equipments we are having, and this can analyze, air pollution is a very buzz thing nowadays. And as you know, there is a lot of dust in the environment. PM 2.5 particles are going above the limits. You will hardly see their limits being under the control. You will see they are at higher levels at ITO, at every juncture.
So they're so minute in the particle size that they easily enter your bronchi, and they can actually choke your lungs.
Yes.
So this particulate matter of 2.5, this is cause of concern, especially in Delhi. I think we had these reports in the newspapers a few months back.
Yeah, but in context of environmental toxicology, we have been analyzing PM 2.5 particles. What are the other toxicants been attached to it? Because farmers are there in the dust all the time. But when this dust, when these particles become toxicant, because they have been attached with many PHAs, PCBs, heavy metals. So we are analyzing the filter paper which accumulates through dust samplers, and these have been surrounded by various toxicants been released by, maybe as I said, pesticides are released in environment. They get stick to these particles. Vehicular emissions are there, and surprisingly in our air pollution monitoring station we have found ozone levels are going very high at the night time, because, and then we are doing modeling for it. Why? And as you know, ozone is very carcinogenic. So today we have danger of various kinds of contaminants in atmosphere. When we talk about environmental toxicology, it's not only water bodies, even air is not safe because of many chemicals which we are introducing on the daily basis in the environment, be it man-made, spray use pesticides, be it from chlorofluorocarbons from the refrigerations, be it vehicular emissions. I think we need to have a check on it. But at the same time, the stream of environmental toxicology is very important to know what is there in the environment and how much is there in the environment and what is the impact on the living ecosystem. So these are certain graphs which are showing PM10, PM 2.5, SOx, NOx and ozone levels in the environment.
So you have now explained how our environment is contaminated, and through your own research studies, actually that is the right way of conducting and doing these studies, that you take up a project, you find out the state of the environment, and then you give recommendations. That's the only way how we can improve such awareness among the public and the masses. So under your leadership, you have organized several programs to bring about mass awareness, and can you just highlight some of them? How can the youth be involved in bringing out the awareness, for example, maybe in pollution, it's a noise pollution, or saying no to crackers, or any other move for sustainable development and initiatives?
Yeah, in fact we have our bachelors, masters, doctor students all are involved in this move to say no to firecrackers. As you can see in the slide, that air pollution mitigation strategies by awareness campaign, exhibition, radio programs and workshops for say no to firecrackers. You can see on the screen students are how enthusiastic, giving slogans. They have made several slogans. They have been to several societies near their residence, and we have found very good results. The societies did not do the bursting. Instead of the bursting firecrackers on the Diwali day, they had a gala feast dinner together, and that's how we saved the environment from pollution. And we have given this message to the community that this is the time that we should know how we should celebrate our festivals, and some of the stigmas been attached to the festival must be removed, and we can celebrate. This is the need of the hour. We have to reduce the pollution. So it is not that just firecracker bursting will celebrate the Diwali. We can also celebrate Diwali by lighting diyas and also having gala dinner together and community gatherings. I'm glad that we are successful in that. Besides this, we do several workshops on fire safety. You can see on the screen, we give training on the fire safety trainings in case of accidents, disasters, man-made disasters. So, we do this continuous drill in every block, and we also train our staff in case of emergency. Now, another passion which we have is going the bicycle way. We are promoting use of bicycle by youth for 3 reasons: save money, then gain health. Instead of going to the gym, they can always come by bicycle, and also save environment. When you are not using fuel, it's not polluting. So the students who are in the vicinity of 10 kilometers, even we are encouraging housewives and citizens, if it is a market area within 1 or 2 kilometers, instead of taking their cars and bikes, they can always take a bicycle. So they can gain health, their exercise is there, and you save environment. So we are promoting the use of bicycle as a vogue, as a fashion. And the students who are flaunting their cars, big cars, they have been looked down. So, and now, in fact, students who are using bicycle, they are our ambassadors, green ambassadors. Besides that, we also do a lot of conferences which are subject specific. For example, with the Society of Toxicology, we have done conference on new frontiers in toxicology. Then earth and environment pollution. And we also celebrate all environment days. Water Day on 21st March, Earth Day on 22nd April, and we discuss on the theme. For example, Earth Day is air pollution. Now coming is Environment Day. And experts are being called, and students, there is a discussion on current burning topics, issues, policies, laws, acts, and also the research topics which can be conducted. There is a complete need and desire by students that the research should be transformed into the action and result with the help of government policies. So these conferences provide a right platform for all the stakeholders to get together and get the fruitful outcome of the research projects.
Thank you, Professor Tannu Jindal ma'am, for giving a good account of the environmental toxicological aspects, the state of the environment. You have done it in various places in our country, in India, to start with, in Delhi also, where you see that the nallas and the drains are unlined, where the sewage is being dumped, and this way we know the amount of the heavy metals that are also entering the lake systems, and that is entering our groundwater, the drinking water systems, and how the human health is put into a hazard, and how we are facing various ailments. These were not seen a decade ago, but right now we find so many new diseases emerging, even the vector-borne diseases. Why we find this West Nile virus, which was actually happening in the south of India, which was initially detected only in Uganda in Africa, but now these are spreading to different regions. Of course, climate change could be one aspect, but again the human beings also do their own activities are responsible for the contamination and the state of our environment today. With various other projects that you have also explained, the Antarctica is also not free from the toxicants. And by way of the awareness programs, the students also are youth and also are learners of this program of the PGD-EOH. You can all be involved in doing such a massive awareness level in your own community, in your own society, at your own place, college, institutions, where you can spread this awareness by highlighting the importance of that day. For example, if it's World Meteorological Day or the Water Day or the Environment Day, which is going to come up on June 5th, that way you can have a panel discussion and motivate your own colleagues and others to go in an eco-friendly fashion, to eat your organic produce, to wear the organic clothes, which may be cotton or pure silk, and so on. Thank you, ma'am, once again
for
coming to our studio.
Yeah.